So our next step would be to get those shadow details where the piece of woods touching each other. So to do that, I'm just gonna create a new layer. Go to selection tool. Let's fill it with a black color. Go to blur. Just blur it a bit. Press OK. And we can start adding our shadows. To get like a 90-degree or 45-degree rotation, just press Shift when you're rotating. Okay, we can collapse those four. And we'll do the same for these bits. Okay, collapse that. And we need the same thing here. Okay, now you can see a bits of shadow. We just need to make it as multiply and just make it less solid. Control S, and let's see how it looks like in 3ds Max. So as you can see, we're getting those like a bits of shadows, so it gives us a bit of the dip in the wood. Our next step would be to tidy up a bit layer stack, so we're gonna call the light border horizontal and vertical, and that's our shadows. So we're still not there. We need to clean those bits, and now we're gonna do, because those bits here should be a light wood as well, so we're just gonna copy it from this bit and just move it there. Oops. Okay, I know what's that. I try just to copy from empty layer. Don't worry if it's not super precise. You can always tweak it later a little bits, and both same. We need to do something with these bits. It's just similar steps. I will try to put like links in my video so you can skip the boring bits of editing, of me repeating the same steps all over again. Just the links that will take you to the other part of the texturing, like adding speculars and stuff. So you don't need to watch it, the boring bits, unless you want to, unless you like to torturing yourself watching YouTube tutorial videos. Okay, so I think we've got the basics done. Just the last bit here. Control S and see how it looks like in Max. Yeah, so our frame is almost ready. We still got like the bits here to edit, so it looks actually like a separate piece of woods, and it's gonna take some time, but I will use the same techniques that I used so far. The last bit I will show you is to add some like a light frame around the edges of the object, which really improves the quality of the texture and gives you the better depth of the object. It's not actually specular, it's nothing to do with like a specular texture, it's just like a white overlap around the object. And to do that, I just get the simple brush and go on the edges of my object. Actually, you can put it on the top of the ambient occlusion map, then you can like edit it. Depends how much bright you want it. So just go all over the edges and so it's another pretty boring part of repeating the same steps all over again, but that's what the texturing is about. Don't worry if you're not very precise, you can, you know, delete stuff later, and so you don't need to be super precise. Well, what we got? We probably need some bits of white on these things as well. Because they actually touchy, they part of these elements. but you don't want to have a specular inside the corners. You want to have shadows there. Okay, the next thing you need to do is to change your layer mode to overlay. Also, I also like to blur this specular a bit. Press Ctrl F to repeat the last filter and just change the feeling of the texture. Press Ctrl S and go to max, and as you can see we're getting these speculars on the edges, and I think it's too bright and should be more blurred. Let's see if just the blur. Whoa. Yeah, we're getting there. We just need to put it to something like 50%. Yeah. Now 50%, I think it's not enough. So we're gonna go for 62, mid on the middle. Yeah. Okay, now I will finish painting those white edges, because there is like a still lots of places that needs the highlights, and when I'm done with it I will back to you.